Before start testing the REST endpoints, let's check the database and customers table. Right now, customers table does not have any records. Let's open Postman REST client, and I'm going to create a new collection. Let me name the collection as Order Manager. And in this collection, I'm going to add a post request to create a customer. So the URL should be localhost colon 8081 because our application is running on port 8081. And the request URL should be this customer-service/APIs/customers. So in the body, we need to select row and then JSON. So when creating the request payload, we have to check the customer DTO first because we need to give the same fields in our request payload. We don't need to give the customer ID because ID will be automatically generated when we enter a record into our customer table. I'm giving some dummy data in the request payload. Next should be customer email. Last field should be customer password. I will just give the simple text as password. So let's go ahead and hit the send button. Okay, we got the response as 201 created, and we can see customer ID in our response payload. And let's go to the customer table and refresh, and now we can see a record has been added to the customer table. An ID has been generated automatically as well. I will name this request as create customer, and also I will save this. And next I can call the get all customers endpoint. Before that, I think we need to add one more customer to our database. I will make some changes to the data in our payload. Let's click the send button, and another record has been created and customer ID 2 we can see in our response. Okay, so we have now two records in the customers table. So the next request is get all customers request, which is of type get, and the URL should be same, and I will name that request as get underscore all underscore customers, and let's click the send button. We got the response like this. We can see two customers in our response payload. The third endpoint is get customer by ID endpoint. I will name the request get underscore customer underscore by underscore ID, and to the URL I'm going to add /2, and we don't need to provide any body. Let's click the send button. We got the response for the customer ID 2 with the correct details. If we hit the send button with 1 as the customer ID, we got the correct details for customer ID 1. Next, let's test the update customer endpoint. This should be a put request, and the URL, we need to have the customer ID in the URL as a path variable, and also in the body we need to provide the data as well. I will make some changes to the first name and last name. Also, let's change the address. And let me change the email as well. And let's hit the send button after naming the request. Okay, we can now see the customer ID 2 has returned with different set of data. And if we go to the customers table and click the refresh, we can see the customer table has now updated. Next, let's test the delete customer REST endpoint. We need to add a request again, and this time we should select delete, and the URL, we need to provide a customer ID in the path variable. I will name the request as delete underscore customers, and let's hit the send button. And now we got the response as customer with ID 2 deleted successfully. And if we refresh the customers table, no longer we see the customer ID 2 in our table.